exciting going on today, but I was reading my Bible study and thought I would hop on here and read a little bit of what I've been learning. I have to take my daughter to the clinic this afternoon. Upon taking her to town last week and getting her stomach looked at and then her blood test drawn, we already knew that she had a high TSH and has hypothyroidism. She's been on medication for about 2.5 years, and I recently decided to get her off to see if I could naturally heal her, because I've been doing some research that thyroid it's hard to explain, but that you can heal it naturally because your body is designed to make TSH. It has been for thousands of years. And up until recently, people have not really dealt with hypothyroidism. It's been only in the last 40, 50 years that it's been very excessive. And it's because of stuff we eat and lack of vitamins and nutrients and things like that. So trying to heal her naturally, but we found out that her TSH levels are extremely high, above 200. And so that's obviously concerning. So I'm getting her on medication for now, right away, just to get it lowered because it can cause other issues. If any of you know anything about healing the thyroid naturally, let me know. I do not want her on synthetic thyroid for the rest of her life when I know that eliminating certain things out of her diet and taking proper vitamins and taking better care of her body can get her body to work the right way naturally. But I obviously don't want to risk her life either for the sake of trying to do that. So I'm just conflicted at what to do. So I'm reading my Bible today, praying, just trying to trust the Lord, praying that He will give me guidance on that situation, and my husband as well. Taking her in today to get another blood draw. I think they're going to check her antibodies, maybe her kidneys. They said that sometimes organs can be damaged when thyroid levels are that high, so pray for that not to be the case. She's going to get some blood drawn again today. She does not like it. Nobody likes getting their blood drawn, but anyways, I just am going to read a little bit of Psalms 63, which is what I'm on today for my Bible study, and then I'll read a little bit of the devotional. I'll put this in a video at some point. Psalm 63. O God, thou art my God. Early will I seek thee. My soul thirsteth for thee. My flesh longeth for thee in a dry and thirsty land where no water is, to see the power and thy glory, so as I have seen in thy sanctuary. Because thy loving kindness is better than life, my lips shall praise thee. Thus will I bless thee while I live. I will lift up my hands in thy name. My soul shall be satisfied with marrow and fatness, and my mouth shall praise thee with joyful lips. When I remember thee upon my bed, and meditate on thee in the night watches, because thou hast been my help, therefore in the shadow of thy wings will I rejoice. My soul followeth hard after thee, thy right hand upholdeth me. But those that seek my soul to destroy it shall go into the lower parts of the earth. They shall fall by the sword, they shall be a portion for foxes. But the king shall rejoice in God. Everyone that sweareth by him shall glory, but the mouth of them that speak lies shall be stopped. Now this is obviously David when he's fleeing Absalom, I believe, and he's fleeing his enemies and he's hiding out. He's not in the palace where he should be as the king. He's having to be like a poor man or a fugitive, pretty much running from people that seek to kill him. And yet he still glorifies God, and he's still praying to God. He's still trusting the Lord, trusting that God will protect him and then take care of his enemies. I'm going to read a little bit of this because it kind of just goes along with my thoughts, but it's well said here. Let's see. This psalm begins with addressing God himself and a reminder of how personal our God is. He is not simply God, he is my God. The psalm overflows with the actions of the psalmist that are used to describe his desperation for God's presence. These verbs stand as a call for us as well to follow in the path of the psalmist in seeking the Lord above all things. The psalmist seeks the Lord earnestly and diligently. His soul thirsts for God. In the culture, the word for soul was used to denote the entire and complete being of a person. It is as though the psalmist speaks of thirsting for God with all that he is and every part of himself. The concept of thirsting for God is not isolated to the poetry of this psalm. Isaiah 55:1 sends out a call to all who thirst to come and drink. And in the New Testament, Jesus himself would claim to be the living water. The thirsty soul finds satisfaction in God alone. And that can be hard when we're having trials. And we just lost my mother-in-law a month ago, about 5 weeks. I cannot believe it's been that long. So getting through grief and then getting through like health issues or losing loved ones, having children with chronic health issues can be difficult. Not only my daughter has hypothyroidism, my son has 2 ankles and feet that are fused together and needs surgery. We just found that out. My other son was born with his intestines outside his belly. He's the oldest. He may need to have surgery to resolve that issue because of his scar that's been stretching since he was a baby. And I, as a mom, just like worry so much and think like, what if this happens? What if that happens? And I never would have thought my mother-in-law would have been taken away from us. And so I think I've been just like pondering that lately about how precious life is. And on one hand, it's made me like try to soak every moment up, just love harder, love stronger. But on the other end of it, it's made me more worried and more fearful and like, wow, I could lose somebody in an instant and you wouldn't even see it coming. And that terrifies me. But ultimately, we just have to trust that God knows. He has our best interest at heart. He doesn't want to see us hurting. He doesn't want to see us suffering. And there's always hope in seeking him and in loving him and thirsting after him. Longing, fainting, or yearning for the Lord are also present in the psalm. And the end of verse 1 makes clear the condition in which the psalmist writes. As David looked around, he would have very literally seen a dry desert land. So it seems natural that he would recognize that the state of his location was also the state of his own soul. He found himself far from home and far from the sanctuary of worship. Yet he thinks back and remembers the glory of God that he has seen. He has seen the beauty of the Lord, and he clings to that truth. The personal God of verse 1 is also the majestic, holy, and glorious King. So when we have hard times, we need to just remember all the beauty that we've seen God do in our lives, all the prayers that he's answered, everything good that he's given to us, and not just reject God in the hard times, but to keep longing for him and thirsting for him, even when we are struggling or even when we're worried or fearful. In verse 3, we are pointed to the steadfast love of God. This is his Hesed love that is seen so often throughout the Old Testament. It is his unfailing covenant-keeping, pursuing, steadfast love. This love is better than all that life has to offer and even better than life itself. The statements that follow can be connected back to this declaration of God's love. Because of this love, the psalmist will praise. Because of this life, the psalmist will bless the Lord and lift up his hands. The psalmist continues, but the words in verse 5 provide for us an important contrast. My soul will be satisfied. This satisfaction that is found in the Lord alone stands in contrast to the thirsting, fainting, and longing of verse 1. Just because we don't see God working like in the moment, and just because it feels hard at the time, doesn't mean that we won't overcome it and that we won't again be satisfied with the love of the Lord. David clings to what he knows to be true. Because of who God is and because of his steadfast love, the people of God will be satisfied in him, despite our circumstances. He is truly better than life, so we can desire him above all other things and know that we will always be satisfied. It may not be in the way we anticipated, but we will be filled. We will behold his glory. We cling to him as he holds fast to us. Like a child, we grip the arms of our Father, yet it is him that holds us up. The psalm ends with a declaration of justice that will come. Rejoicing will come. Truth will reign. God will be praised. Our hearts are left longing for the day when the joys of this psalm will be fully known. We long for the day when full restoration is seen in the new heavens and new earth. We ache for the day when all of our longings will be fulfilled in him, when our enemies will be defeated, and when we will dwell in his presence and behold his glory forever. My lips will glorify you because your faithful love is better than life. That's really hard for us to sometimes comprehend, and it's hard for us to sometimes feel that no matter what we're going through, that God's way is better, God's love is there, God's hand is still providing. I mean, like, he could cause an earthquake to happen and my house could roll right off this hill and my whole family could be gone. He literally sustains us day to day. He keeps my children's food going down their throat properly. He keeps their hearts beating, keeps the breath in their lungs. He keeps the breath in my lungs. He keeps my husband strong. He keeps us from getting illnesses. And when those illnesses do come, his grace is sufficient in those times as well. And that isn't always easy to understand, but I encourage you to go to Psalms. This devotion is, I don't know if this one is still available. It's on the Daily Grace Co. I've had this for like 5 years and I haven't done it yet. The Daily Grace Co. is a online Bible devotional company, and they sell markers, and they might sell Bibles. They sell all kinds of really amazing, beautiful Bible studies that you can mark in. You can fill it in. So you fill in the answers, and it's just a really beautiful devotional. And it's beautiful to have set out on a table, and then you can keep it when you're done if you want to go back through it and just kind of remember, or you can toss it or pass it on. They're not that expensive. They're very inexpensive. They also have sales all the time. Anyways, that's what I'm learning. Praying for my daughter, praying for good results, praying that her organs are fine and that her kidneys are fine. For now, I'm just going to put her back on her medication and pray that God will heal her naturally one of these days, and that she'll go into remission, and that God will give me guidance on natural healing. I don't know what to do. So I'm conflicted, and I just want to see her healthy and strong. She really doesn't suffer a lot of hypothyroidism like symptoms. She's not really overly tired. She is puffy. She's a little bit has inflammation for sure, but the tiredness and stuff isn't excessive. So I guess I didn't realize that her levels were so high. I thought maybe she was getting better, and I'm feeling a little guilty about that. But I just don't know. I don't have experience with this. I don't know what to do. I'm very I'm not super homeopathic. I will take antibiotics if it's suggested. I'll give my kids antibiotics if I have to. But we don't vaccinate, and I'm kind of in between. I'm not super ultra crunchy when it comes to that kind of thing. We eat processed foods and things like that. I had a phone call come in, but anyways, all that being said, yeah, just pray for my daughter and for guidance. Stay strong in the Lord. I hope you all have a good day. Praying for you. Don't mind my sunburnt skin. I got burnt yesterday. One of the only nice days in Alaska. I'm getting freckles above my mouth, and it looks like I have a mustache, and just not very fresh looking today. But yeah, anyways, I just wanted to share that with you all. We're getting ready to go see my mom and dad and sisters in about 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks. So that will be exciting, but I need to go pick up my daughter and take her to the clinic, get her blood drawn again. So have a good day.